Maurice Nicole's Psychological Commentaries, Volume 3, based on Nicole's work with Gurdjieff, Ouspensky, and Young, Great Amwell House, February 28, 1948. Commentary on Imaginary I and False Personality, Work Idea, Video 1 of 2. The work says that if you want things different, you must change yourself. Man is in imaginary I and false personality. As long as he is in this inner situation, he cannot develop internally, and so everything will remain as before. He will attract the same life. Man has a wrong relation to himself. He lives in the basement of himself and so cannot reach his right life. Now, here's the commentary. At a recent meeting here, I spoke about imaginary I and false personality from the point of view unless this inner situation begins to alter, nothing can alter. This means that you will always attract the same life, the same experiences, same disappointments, the same sense of frustration, the same boredom, the same internal unsatisfactory existences, and so on. The work says change yourself and your life will change. Remain the same in yourself and everything in your life will remain the same and repeat itself. It is always worthwhile for a person to remind herself or himself of this central idea of the work. Remain the same as regards to your being, and you can only attract the same things that hitherto have attracted. Understand that if you remain the same in your being, in the kind of person you are, you cannot possibly have anything different. Change your being and your life will change. Do nothing to change yourself and your life will and inevitably must remain the same. Suppose some prominent feature in you centers in being lazy in regard to what you could be doing good at, and make any efforts but the right one. Remain lazy and your life will be the same. Suppose you are mean to yourself or to others as thinking meanly of others. Remain mean and your life will be the same. You have no charity. Suppose you are a confirmed liar to yourself and to others. Remain a liar and your life will remain the same. Begin to change yourself and your life will instantly change. It is possible to understand that if one remains the person one is, nothing changes in one's life. You take everything in the same way. You may think by going somewhere you will change your life. After a time, everything will repeat itself as before. We look out thinking that by changing outside things we can experience another life. But if you reflect, how can this possibly be so? You can only experience yourself, you yourself, with continual laziness, your particular meanness, your continual indignation or quarrelsomeness, your continual internal considering and preoccupation with wretched yourself that you exalt to heaven, your continual sense of self-pity and so on, will inevitably reproduce this tiresome opera called yourself, wherever you go in space or in time. So you will experience the same difficulties and disappointments, east, west, north, or south, wherever you go. Because you're always experiencing yourself, you will never see that the cause lies in yourself, in the kind of being you have, in the kind of person you are. And let me say, each person is a formidable subject quite apart from the dazzling exterior. Now, this work is not about the dazzling exterior, but about the not all that dazzling interior. This work does not direct the attention to the external side of things, seen via the exterior senses, but to the internal side, seen via the internal senses, which are more numerous than the external senses and far more interesting. So we come to what the work says man or woman is an imaginary I and false personality. As long as this is the case, nothing can change. Nowadays, of course, it is very difficult in this extroverted world of people, where everyone thinks the solution of things lies in outer changes or political creeds and scientific discoveries. It is very difficult, I say, for anyone to have that reserve of force that makes it possible for a man or woman to even hear a single word of what the work is teaching. Change, people think, can only be outside, not inside or within. There is a continual outer noise or outer sensation or outer distraction going on, so much so that a person begins to think that unless he hears everything, sees everything, and he does not properly live. This is the extroverted phase of life, which depends on the external senses being satisfied with external impressions. One can, however, get internal impressions from conscience. If we gain real conscience, as I said, the work is internal and is not about change of one and is about change of oneself, not change in our outer circumstances. I ask you, how can you have a better world if people are not better? But as people are losing all sense of understanding and do not wish to think at all, we can expect it to be more and more difficult to find people who wish to work on themselves. Everything is inevitably going mass. Everything is inevitably going mass. That is, no one thinks individually. Gurdjieff said once, nothing can stop the present movement of the pendulum. It will soon be either ants or bees. But he added that now, since people are throwing away the small amount of consciousness that they are given, it is possible for some people to collect this unwanted and unused consciousness and begin to awaken. In the Gospels, it says, to him that hath shall be given, and from him that hath shall not be taken away even that which he hath. He said that there is only so much force of consciousness at any particular time. It's like a gold bath, he said, in many words. If you dip too many spoons in it, each will only get a spot of gold and become useless. The spoons will be neither one thing nor another. People do not understand that intelligence, for example, is weighted and measured like everything else on this planet. To be really intelligent, and he emphasizes the word intelligent, is not possible for everyone. The reason is that intelligence is a measured thing, a force, in fact, a definite substance of which there is a definite amount available to each period of time. If it is concentrated, you will get, as a result, a certain number of intelligent people. If you scatter it to no one would be intelligent, and we would lose the instinctive intelligence that we share with the animals. I asked him once when I was in France if there were not too many people on this earth for it to support. But I did not understand his reply, save that it was based on the idea that everything happens the only way it can happen, and no one can do anything.